Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? Hopefully you all are fine and enjoying blessings of Allah. I am your English teacher Ma'am Shumaila. It's the time for your English lecture. So let's start our today's topic. So students, today our topic of discussion is verb and its types. So today we will discuss that what is a verb and how many types a verb has. So let's start our today's topic. So students, you have to listen to this lecture carefully so that you can understand that what is a verb and how many kinds or how many types it has. What is a verb? A word that shows action is called verb, and it is derived from a Latin word verbum, which means a word. So any action word is called verb. Now look at the types of verb. How many types of verb has? First is regular verb, irregular verb, transitive verb, intransitive verb, linking verb, finite verb, and infinite verb. So let's discuss all these types through examples. Let's see the first one, regular verbs. A verb that's past form, second form, and participle form, third form, is made by adding d or ed is called regular verb. So what are regular verbs? That if we add d or ed at the end or with the base verb, that is called regular verb. The examples are in front of you. You can see that we have added d or ed in these verbs and they have become regular verbs. Talk, talked, talked. Watch, watched, watched. See the next one. Play, played, played. Joke, joked, joked. Amuse, amused, amused. Now you have seen all three forms of verb here. We have added d or ed in second and third form of verb. That's why it is called a regular verb, because we have added d or ed with the base verb. Now what are irregular verbs? In irregular verbs, we do not add d or ed for second or third form. That we do not use d or ed with the base form of verb, with the first form of verb, or you can say that in second and third form we do not add d or ed. You can see these examples. The first form is teach, second is taught, third is taught. Now look at the second example. Go, went, gone. Next is come, came, come. Take, took, taken. Now you have seen that in these examples we have not used d or ed with second or third form. That's why it is called irregular verbs. So irregular verbs are those in which we do not use d or ed in second or third form of verb. Now look at the third category, linking verb. A verb that acts as a link between the two words is called linking verb. It connects or links a subject to a noun or an adjective in the predicate. So, as it is clear from the name linking verb, it means that it links subject with a noun or an adjective. Now look at these examples. He seems dejected. The food tastes bad. He appears happy. So linking verbs are underlined in these examples. Now you have seen that all these linking verbs are joining subject with adjective. As in the first example, he is a subject and dejected is an adjective. So he seems dejected. Seems here is acting as a linking verb. Now look at the second example. The food tastes bad. Here the subject is the food and linking verb is taste because it is linking or connecting subject to an adjective and bad is an adjective here. Now look at the third example. He appears happy. Here appears is acting as a linking verb between the subject he and the adjective happy. So linking verbs are those which connects or which act as a link between a subject with a noun or an adjective. What are transitive verbs? A verb that needs an object to complete itself is called transitive verb. It is called transitive because it passes its action from subject to object. So any verb which need an object to complete its action is called transitive verb. Now look at these examples. The boy kicks the football. He loves his mother. He plays football. They learn their lesson. In these examples, you have seen that there is a subject, then verb and object. As in the first example, you have seen the boy is a subject here. Kicks is a verb. The football. Football is an object here. So, a verb which need an object to pass the action is called transitive verbs. So all these verbs which are written here in these examples, they are transitive verbs because all these verbs need an object to pass the action. Now let's see intransitive verbs. A verb that does not need any object to complete itself is called intransitive verb. It does not pass its action from subject to the object. So, intransitive verbs are those which do not require, which do not need any object to pass its action. Or you can say that they do not pass action to the object. Now look at these examples. The girl sleeps. Here, sleeps is intransitive verb because it does not need any object to pass action. The girl is subject here and sleeps is intransitive verb. The kite flies high. The kite is object here. Flies is intransitive verb because there is no object or the action is not passing to the object. Or you can say that this verb does not need any object to pass its action. Now look at the next example. He runs fast. And the last one, she sings well. Now you have seen that in these examples, intransitive verbs do not require any object to pass the action. That's why we call them intransitive verbs. Okay, now come to finite verbs. Finite verbs means those verbs which can change their form in accordance with the subject. It defines the time, past or present, and the subject. It tells you who is doing the action and when it is being done. So, finite verbs are those verbs which tell that who has done the action and when the action is being done. They also change their form according to the subject. Now look at these examples. I eat rice. He eats rice. They eat rice. You have seen that in these examples, the verb eat is changing according to the subject. With I, we use first form. With he, we use s. And with they, we use first form of verb. Now look at the next example. I am a student. He is a student. They are students. Now you have seen that according to the subject, the verb has changed. It means that they are finite verbs because they are changing according to the subject. What is infinite verb? An infinitive is a verb which has to before it. It shows infinite action when is used at the beginning of the sentence. So, we add to before any verb which shows that this is infinite verb. Now look at these examples. To see is to believe. To be weak is miserable. To err is human. To forgive is divine. Now you have seen that in these examples we have used to before the verb. That's why we call them infinite verbs. Now it's the time to discuss the homework. Your homework is that you have to find out that which kind of verb it is in a sentence. The sentences are in front of you and the verbs are underlined as well. You have to find out that the verbs which are underlined, they are which verbs. Okay? I hope that you have understood today's lecture and you can do the homework very easily. So students, in our Zoom lesson, we will discuss more examples of all these types of verbs through slides. I hope that everything is clear to you. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz. Thank you.